everybody, welcome to Snarkmas Day 2. My name is Josh, and I want to thank you for being here, for being a part of this awesome crew. We're a crew. We're a vibe. We're a tribe. We're peeps. Sorry. Today we're going to go back into time. Back in Beneath the Sheets. People have been sending me some videos that I haven't snarked on before. I've snarked on a couple Beneath the Sheets podcasts, but this one it gets a little bit crazy. Kyra is like... has no idea what she has put on the internet and what exists out there. It's like she puts it out there and forgets it's out there and then like goes on with her lies. So we're gonna cover that today, but before we do that, we spin the wheel because it is Snarkmas every single day this month. Every single person who is a member is on this wheel, by the way, and that's why it looks, see this little white triangle? That's names, okay? So thousands of names on this wheel. So if you win, that's like the lottery, okay? So let's do a little jig and win a prize. All right, Melissa McQueen, you win a prize. Reach out to Josh at thedadseanspodcast.com with your shirt size and your address, and I'm gonna hook you up. Merry Snarkmas. Now let's get to it.
It's that time of year. DCP's here to snark and to jeer for these buttholes to hear. Don't forget to book your pap smear. Snarkmas 2023.
Ho, ho, ho! Nana, you son of a bitch!
Don't forget to book that thing, okay? Like I learned that a pap smear is very important for cervical cancer screening. So it wasn't just a joke. Get her done. Safety first. Safety first. You know what? If you could save one life, it's worth the joke. So anyway, here's another joke. Kyra decided to do a sex podcast with her nanny and then eventually stole her nanny's husband. So that's nice. But apparently in this podcast, which is like an hour long, she says some stuff. And so let's snark on it, shall we? Because it is Snarkmas.
Like player. Imagine like if girls were walking around like, oh god, such a slut.
Cackle like you do? Are you sure? I feel like this is going to be a podcast full of hypocrisy, and I cannot wait to get to it. The excitement I feel. I stole your husband.
Hi, I'm Kyra. Hi, I'm Hannah. And welcome back to Beneath the Sheets, where we make the uncomfortable comfortable.
Nah, it's still uncomfortable. You make the uncomfortable more uncomfortable. Let's be real.
Oh, today we are talking about the drink of the week first.
Shut up, other person.
Yeah, we're scheduling it in right now. Before we forget. We're rushing into it. I realize that works when we rush into it. First and foremost, drink of the week. Today's drink of the week is a margarita.
I think you suck at this. What possesses people who have no inkling of humor to start a podcast? Okay, this isn't funny. This podcast was absolute trash from the get-go. And now we sort of realize, possibly conjecturizing TM, that Kyra was doing this because she wanted to get close to Preston, because she hired Preston to do the editing on this podcast, to be the guy that set up the mics and do all the stuff, do the soundboard and all that stuff. Straight up, like, she was digging deep early, trying to get this, like, she was, like, subverting. And so, but at the same time, they're not funny. Neither of them.
Yeah, period. That's it. That's it.
That's all it is margarita.
Margarita.
And you know,
that's it.
I like margaritas when I'm already drunk. Starting out with margaritas hard.
I actually love margaritas with salt around the
some
rim.
Tahini.
But I just like salt.
We can tell by your skin.
I just like the salt. So I don't even really like the margarita.
Shut up. It's not funny. Like, I think Hannah's like, this is my boss, so I have to laugh. That's probably the only way this works.
I like that I can get the salt.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's our drink of the week. Don't forget, you guys, to send us your drink recommend.
Why does Kyra always pick her nose, pick her eye, pick her hair, pick her teeth, cackle? She has zero idea what she looks like on camera.
Recommendations. We've loved your guys'. Pretty much everyone
Your
that we've
guys'
tried that you guys have recommended
has been our favorite.
Literally, like, we take it home with us. Keep it, save it, put it in the safe. And yeah, I was gonna make a mom joke, but I won't even.
Pop it while you put it in your pocket.
Polka dot it. Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about something today that was inspired by one of your guys' questions.
Stop saying your guys's! Stop it! Please!
Which we'll get to later in the episode. And that is sleeping with multiple people. So not like our last episode, not like a threesome, but like having...
We'll go over that one again, too.
Like over the span of your sexual encounter.
Yes, like you slept with X amount of people.
Body count. That's what the whole thing is called.
People that's more than one. Although when I think of multiple people, I think...
And it's funny that these two people are talking about this because we know this because they've told it to us that they don't have large body counts. So, what are you talking about? It's like me talking about lash mascara. I don't know anything about makeup. Okay? I'm not going to be a person that's going to sit here and do a podcast about it. Because I don't know anything about it. Okay? So it's odd that these people do these types of podcasts. They're just so silly. They're so silly.
Like more than 5, probably. Like multiple people to me, in at least the context that this topic was inspired by, I feel like she's talking about more than one person. More than a couple people. Like she's talking about a good amount.
Like a good amount?
Yeah.
Well, should we read that first so then they kind of get an idea of where we're coming from also?
Okay, that works. That way I don't keep referencing it and you guys are like, what?
And just like a mystery. They're like, oh my gosh,
I need to know.
read it.
I know.
Read it!
They're like, I just need to know, and then you can't even live your life until you know. So we'll just start off with telling you.
So you can know.
Yeah. Okay, you read it. You have the honors.
Is it the question or the
question?
Comment or the story? Okay, same thing. Yep.
Wow, you guys are so good at this. Like, I'm so sad this podcast is gone. It was iconic.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry?
Your question.
It's just you.
Body count. Does it matter? Why is there a stigma around a girl with a higher body count? Why is a girl slut-shamed for having sex with different partners, but a guy is praised? P.S. I do not...
They're not.
Wait, I read that wrong.
Yeah. You got this. Rewind.
This one
It's like Preston did your job. You can't even edit this out. And that's what kind of makes you like laugh about this because Preston was nowhere near had the ability to do any of this stuff. She's like, you do it, Preston, you do it, so you can come over and do the podcast and I can edit with you in the room and then we can spark this love relationship that I have. He can't even edit.
I mean, relevant to us, but she just said that she has more ideas if they're in need. This is her area of expertise.
Okay, you read something and you confused everybody more, so congrats.
Yes, girlfriend.
We
always
love ideas.
Give us your ideas because you don't even know how much we struggle to sit here and make these outlines.
I know. We literally just go...
You don't even know what you're talking about. Like, leave it to Kyra, though, to start a podcast of something she has absolutely no idea about because she wants to talk dirty to the guy editing.
His recommendations.
Literally every time. So just send in spams of ideas, topics, all of the things. So.
BTS Unofficial. No, listeners at btsunofficial.com.
Yes.
Wow, nice.
Or, I mean, BTS.
Thanks for that super long email. It's like a paragraph.
Unofficial.com. You can go to our website and we have form, that you can send us.
Get to the topic!
And stories, drinker. What she says, body count, doesn't matter. I personally would say no because not that I have experience with multiple people.
Exactly. So why are you talking about it?
If you guys have been listening for a while, you know I've only ever been with Preston. He's the only guy I've ever had sex with.
Poor person.
I've had other sexual encounters, but sex, and so body count.
Could this be more awkward?
For me, as like an outsider for that, I feel like wouldn't matter because you didn't know that person yet if you're in a relationship, and so it's just kind of like taught you about yourself, about what you like, what you don't like. Things like that. I don't know about what you would say.
I think that...
And you got to watch this from a perspective of Kyra likely was cheating on Oscar with Preston, okay? Because according to my source that we met with them in a hotel room in Vegas, they were talking about how they had been doing this for like 9 months. And that was like 6 months before they were broken up publicly. And privately, by the way. So you got to look at it from that perspective. Now you might not believe it because it cannot be confirmed until she confirms it, or until Preston confirms it, or until Hannah confirms it, right? But you have to understand, in that context, everything that you see Kyra saying and talking about here, you have to understand there's probably likely some stuff going down in behind the scenes with Preston while she's doing all this stuff. It's very interesting to watch, knowing that.
It matters.
Obviously, to say the obvious, because I always feel like I have to say this, otherwise some sassy and Sally will be like,
yeah, Kyra, I wonder why nobody likes you. It's such a mystery of the deep of the galaxies. Why does nobody like me? I just called her a sassy effing Sally. Like, oh my gosh, why would you call me out for being an idiot? And I'm going to call you out for calling me an idiot.
I'm sorry, but actually,
You're so funny, Kyra. You wonder why people hate your ass. Here's why.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, I know.
Okay, yes,
We
definitely.
know that. We're not.
See, Hannah's like, don't do that. These are people who watch us. At least Hannah has some wherewithal to be like, why are you literally calling out the people who pay us? You idiot.
Your OBGYN. Go see your OBGYN.
Make
for
sure
that.
the person that you are going to have sex with, multiple people, whatever
Yeah.
it may be, is clean, protected,
Yes.
free of
Where-
all
Did you, Kyra? Did you make sure they're clean and protected?
Condom if you don't
the
have
things.
strangers, or if you don't have strangers.
Wow.
If you're having sex with well, even if you know them, actually. If you don't know
anybody.
their exact health.
Yeah, or like sexual history, things like that. Yeah, either you get tested, they get tested, both get tested, condoms.
Yeah. Thanks for saying all the things that nobody does.
just
everything.
fucking be careful. Okay, now that we got that boring ass shit out of
Yeah,
the way.
get out.
Oh, yeah, be careful. Now, that's the boring stuff. Let's get into the juicy stuff because I need Preston to hear it.
Yeah.
We have, what I have to say.
Yeah, say it.
I don't remember.
Fuck.
Typical. I always have like great build up, and then I'm like, what was the thing? So let me look
No, you didn't. You didn't have a great build up. None of it was good.
at this here. Oh, body count. Okay. What I was gonna say is, you are your own. Your body is your own temple, and you get to let in how many ever people.
Oh my gosh, Kyra, you're so bad at this. And if Preston's supposed to be editing this, why not just like, you gotta get your butt in. Hey, you said something, probably would have been great. Let's say that all over again. I'll cut it out. We'll edit it in. Like they just, it's so lazy. Why is Preston even here to turn on the microphones? Holy cow!
Oh, good lord.
You want to, okay? If you want your temple open to the public, open it up.
It's open.
That's right. And if you want it closed to only the believers, then close that shit up and stitch it. All right? Like,
Oh my gosh. This is a podcast about sex that they're just supposed to be professionals on. Like, we're just people talking about, you're like talking like you're like 8th grade boys in the locker room. That's what it sounds like, Kyra. You're so bad at this, Kyra.
Yeah. That.
It's not funny!
preference. We always say it. Self-preference. No judgment
Okay,
here.
self-preference.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, but if you
No
are...
judgment here unless you judge me for like not saying things properly. Then they call you a Sally effing Sally or whatever. You stanky Sally or whatever she says.
are slut-shaming anybody, shame
You're
on
just
you.
dumb.
Shame on you. Okay,
Yeah, you should be the one being slut-shamed. Just kidding.
well, that makes total sense. And of course she's cackling at that joke. If you slut shame somebody, I'm going to slut shame you even if you're not a slut. Cackle, cackle, cackle.
Goddamn.
This podcast had people listen to it.
It's getting out of
This is gonna get bad. No, but for real.
What's so funny? What are you laughing at?
And I'm randomly calling everybody whores.
I just love to call people out.
Today's the day.
Why don't you call Kyra out then?
Ready, back the fuck up, okay?
Watch out, bitches.
Yes.
Yeah.
What
Wow.
were we saying? Oh, yes, it's just...
Oh, if you're slut-shaming people, don't.
fuck.
So all that point where they're cackling and laughing at each other's jokes that no one understands comes down to, like, if you're doing that, like, don't do it. Ding! Super point number 1 on Beneath the Sheets. Hashtag it.
On you.
Yeah. Never.
We don't need that type of energy.
I've never heard that.
There is a rogue eyebrow hair, because I'm getting older, and it's long. And I can see it in my peripheral, and I can't undo it. I've got this little leave-in conditioner stuff that I got from the Barbour. Let me try this. I can't tell anymore. Is it there? All right.
For fuck on you. Wow.
This is just going to be them saying things we can't hear, them laughing about it like we can hear it. Is that what this whole podcast is going to be? Because it sucks.
Shame on you, but it's like extra shame. You know, it's
Yeah.
like fuckery. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no idea what they're talking about. No idea.
So, personally, I've definitely been there where you get slut-shamed. The people that slut-shamed you, you're like,
Why have you been slut-shamed? You slept with 2 people that you admitted.
excuse me, what the fuck did you have to say about what?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No.
So don't even worry, because literally if you actually look at the people who are slut-shaming,
Literally.
they have no room to judge.
I'd like to point out too, like, I don't care that they took this down. Someone else uploaded it, right? I'd like to point out that these conversations are going to be available for her children to watch as they get older, and their children's friends, and their children's teachers, and everybody in their lives. They're going to see this stuff. And I'd also like to point out that OK Baby is still making money. I thought it would. Someone did point this out to me, that if your channel's still making cash after a while, then she's collecting on the OK Baby cash. So I know this is a segue, but I want to just do this real quick. I don't think it's making a lot of money, but Kyra has full control of OK Baby. Oscar doesn't have control of it anymore. And so they haven't really gained a lot of subscribers in the past month or so, but still pulling in 202,000 views. It's not nothing. Okay, it still could be a couple $1,000s a month, few $1,000 a month, just so you're aware. Kyra completely owns OK Baby and is not going to remove it. So there you go. But the point I was trying to make is that even though people delete things, it exists on the internet forever. Everybody keeps sending me the Jordan Cheyenne video where she's like coercing her kid to cry over the dead dog, and it is crazy and terrible. I interviewed her after it all happened, but to this day, every year it makes its rounds. She's never going to live it down, and kind of deserves it, if you know what I mean. All these things that are out there that you put on the internet and you think, oh, I'll just take it down when they're older. A lot of people have said that. If my kids don't want to be on the internet later, I'll take it down. It exists forever. It will exist forever somewhere. And so I just want to point that out. This garbage podcast that they took down because Hannah probably wanted her to, it still exists on the internet.
And sadly enough, actually, a lot of people that are judgmental usually have their own things going on. Don't ever forget that.
Like what? Stealing someone's husband? Is that what you mean?
And that's why they feel that way. I think that as long as you're being safe and you're being, like, you're happy with it.
It doesn't matter what everybody else is happy, just as long as you're happy with it. Do you think that Hannah was happy with the way that you did all your sluttiness? Is that as long as you're happy though, right, Kyra? That's all that matters.
Then yes, but I do know that it's easy to fall, because my situation was this. Like, I was in a relationship for a very long time, and then I left the relationship and wasn't sure. Like, I didn't have, like, confidence. Like, I didn't feel like anybody would want me. I didn't feel like I would...
What is she? Is this after the breakup? I don't know. I can't tell. Because I know that Kyra stole Oscar from her best friend. And basically has been with Oscar since, so...
It was good enough. And that's when I was, like, putting myself out there to prove to myself, which I want to say don't do that, because, like, you shouldn't have to prove yourself, but also...
Kyra, you're in high school. Relax.
It did help me. It did give me confidence.
Yeah.
It did make me realize, okay, not only one person in the whole world thinks I'm attractive. Yeah. Like, that's not how it works.
Only one person does, though. And it's Preston for some weird reason.
And so...
But you had to change your entire body for him to do that, so... You know?
Yeah, I think it's just, like, all about how you feel. If girls are happy sleeping around, then let them. Why do you care? It's just like when people get so upset about others being, like, gay or lesbian or whatever. It's like, why do you give a shit about what other people are doing with their parts?
Exactly.
Like, that never has made sense to me. I don't care what you do. But yeah, I think that you're totally right, that unfortunately women do get shamed. I mean, even guys look at girls that sleep around and they're like, oh, like, I don't know, that's, like, not...
And sometimes, like you said...
Okay, that's a preference. You're allowed to have a preference. If a girl sees a guy and he slept around, she's allowed to have a preference that she doesn't like that either. It's a preference. Just deal with it.
And everybody...
So this whole world talks about this body count thing. It's obviously a big hot topic right now, but it's a preference thing. Some guys don't care. Some guys do. Some girls don't care. Some girls do. And who cares? And she's like, I don't let people care. Well, it's your preference. So why do you care about someone's preference then? Dummy.
Well, I mean, you said that people slut shaming other people are going through something, but also there are some people who you might be thinking to yourself, like, wow, that person sleeps around a lot, but they might be looking for attention, just maybe not in the right places. Like, they might be
you just judge somebody though. Why? Maybe it is in the right places. Who are you to judge that's the wrong place? You just said no judgment here. You guys are terrible at this.
Looking something in their personal lives that...
Oh, for sure.
They're like prefacing this whole thing with like, okay, if you slide, are you ready for a slide? Like, go girl, yes, queen, slay. But if you're looking for that in sexual things, like, that's the wrong place to look. Like, do you guys not hear anything's coming out of your face holes? Anything? Anything?
Finding through sex.
Anybody?
As long as they can figure themselves out and they have to go through that.
Such a cop-out conversation with a lot of people. And I've done this. I'm guilty of this too. Like, as long as you're this and that, yeah. But I have my judgments. Like, we all judge everybody else. It's just the way the world works. But, like, just have a point and stick to it. Okay, be real.
then that's what they need to do. And I mean, some people do it and learn great tips for the person they end up with in their future. I mean, I definitely have never been through that phase, like I said, but
like, I love it. They're always like, do all these things I'm saying, but I've never experienced that, so like, just take that with a grain of pepper.
I do.
There are some people who do need that experience before they can ever be with somebody because
no, you don't.
Yeah. I do think it helped me a lot, make a lot of realizations in my life. Now, that's not to say
Kyra keeps talking like she's lived a whole life of debaucherous lifestyle. Like, she hasn't. She was dating some dude, broke up with that dude, then wanted another dude who belonged to another girl, stole Oscar, and has been with him since up to this moment in this podcast. Like, she's talking like she's lived like the dream, the life. She's been around the world. You've done nothing, Kyra. Nothing.
I would do it all over again because that's definitely not true. I mean, I don't regret it, but at the same time, I don't know that I would have done it in the way that I did it. But
that's called regret.
I think that at the same time, like, it taught me so many important things about my current relationship and about myself. Like I said, like, I have value, and sex didn't show that to me. It was just the experience of doing it, thinking it was going to do that for me.
I have no idea what she just said there. These people, it's like listening to toddlers have a conversation with a dog. It doesn't, like, it's cute. But I have no idea what you said, okay? You're not saying things that make any sense.
And, like, the lessons that you learned from that.
Yeah.
What?
So, I don't know, but I think it's funny because I think, to me, when I think of, like, a slut, I think of, like, Homewrecker. That is what
just what people were telling me to look for.
To me, that is somebody who deserves all the slut shaming in the world.
Yeah,
oh, no judgment here, though, unless you're a homewrecker, she says. Excuse me? Are you kidding me? The audacity. The utter audacity of this woman to say, except homewreckers. Because, Kyra, that's exactly what you did twice. Now, the first homewrecking isn't really homewrecking because they were teenagers. Like, it's not a big deal. To someone's a big deal, to someone's not a big deal. But you didn't wreck a home. Like, those are teenagers, they live at their own home. But you did wreck this home. You're a big part of why this wrecked. Now, in my, you guys know where I stand on this whole situation. Likely, Kyra, Hannah, and Preston were engaging in something outside of Oscar's purview and without his permission. And it probably went down one day. They got drunk and they did some stuff. Hannah didn't like it, right? And it got into the relationship between her and Preston. Now, Preston gets all angry, turns to Kyra, and Kyra starts comforting him during this moment. Because I think it was consensual at the beginning. Except without Oscar's consent. So between those three, it's consensual, but not consensual to Oscar. And Kyra doesn't see it that way because it's with two people. She's like, well, it's two people, it's different. I was the third one, so I was just kind of in there. She probably justifies it some weird way in her brain because she's a pathological liar, right? And then it broke them down, and then Kyra was there waiting for Preston. Probably sabotaged the whole thing and was sabotaging her relationship at the time. That's what I believe. I don't know where I was going with all that, but that's what Kyra does. And then she stole Preston. So she's a homewrecker. She's a homewrecker. So she, by her standards right now, we're allowed to call her a big old slut. So Kyra, you're a big old slut.
Somebody's happy. Don't interrupt that for
even not.
Oh my gosh.
Happy. Like, if they're not happy in a relationship, that is not your job, Miss Sophie.
Oh gosh. It's just like I'm getting shivers of cringe because she doesn't realize it. This was out there. Maybe that's why she deleted it.
To swoop in and try to, fuck the guy till he figures it out. Like,
Kyra,
no,
you did that with Oscar and with Preston. Like, even at this point, maybe they weren't even engaging in all this stuff yet, right? Maybe there was no cheating yet. But at this point, she did that with Oscar. Like, are you this dumb? Clearly.
Not it.
Yeah. You need, that is a different type of situation, but I think
no slut shaming here. If it makes you happy, nah, you don't get to shame anybody. So this whole podcast has been like, no shame, but we're shaming all these.
I think, if you're just sleeping around, especially in high school and college, that's when or in your 20s, that's when a lot of people do it.
Like, here, you know that the world knows you did this, right? Right?
And I think that you're still discovering yourself. You know?
For sure.
So if you're lucky enough to find somebody, that's great, but that's not always the case, and you shouldn't be shamed
What is happening? So did she just go back to say, well, unless you're young and it happens, and then you shouldn't be shamed for that. But when you're older, then you should be shamed. Like, because Kyra knows that she's going to get called out because everybody knows her history because she has told. You know why we know all this stuff? Because Kyra's told everybody. She has told everybody this. This is so crazy because she just realized what she said. She's like, oh, I mean, unless you're young, then you're just living your dream.
You know what I mean?
And there could be some people, and this might be more like high school wise, possibly like older years, but I was, okay, not slut shamed necessarily. That kind of sounds dramatic for my situation. Not necessarily to my face, but behind my back. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I've never had sex. So why is everybody saying that
You're the one saying that being a slut has to do with sex. It's not just, I mean, it's everything, is it not? I don't know. But yeah, I'd assume it's everything.
Slept with so many people so many times, and there's pictures and videos and like all of this stuff, which were 100% all rumors. Like when I first started talking to Preston, he was like, I mean,
hey, you like this teen stash I have on?
of course you go through like that total question, like you are asking each other things like how many people have you slept with, and I was like none, and he was like shook because he's like, are you kidding?
So
like that people. Is not what people say. And I'm like, that is really frustrating because
and you just aren't.
What the heck are you saying? It's frustrating that he was like, what? After I told him I didn't sleep with anybody. Why is that frustrating? Like, why are these people on a podcast?
Like that.
No, and so I'm like, you might think somebody is sleeping around a lot when really they aren't. Like, they just...
I think...
Okay.
I don't know, it's difficult.
Mean, which is not even, like try something better, my God.
Yeah.
It's such an easy go, too. But I do think that is what bothers me so much about it, is just... Usually, the word slut, it's very rare a guy is calling a girl a slut.
And that, I feel like, is a...
girl sluts.
Is it?
Yeah, that to me is like one of those harsh words that I was like, you shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
Like, that is like a bad word to me. Like, I don't like to say that, slut, especially when you're accusing somebody of that.
I bet you she's called Kyra slut a bunch of times ever. You don't say it.
Because it's such a loaded word and it means so many things to so many different people.
No, it basically means the same thing to everybody. These people just speaking words from their face holes. Like, it's such a thing, words, it has words and different meaning. No, it doesn't. Everybody knows what it means. Okay.
And to just openly say, oh, that girl's a slut, like that, there's so much more behind it. Yes. And so for you to just go around saying that to other people and having other people believe that, don't do that.
I think it's just...
Okay.
It's one of those things, like I said, it's just a girl-to-girl term, and I think that is just so...
Yeah.
Again, I don't know, it just bothers me when girls shit on other girls. Like...
She did just say that. She did not just say that after calling someone like a Sally's Slytherin, whatever she called. Like, here, you're the most catty to other women because your whole fan base is women, so spare me. Get wrecked.
That is, we all...
You're gross. You have no friends left because of what you did.
Should be supporting each other.
Apparently, she sent out in a short the other day. I don't know if I can post here if I remember, but she says she's like, putting my invites in for my elopement is like 6 invites. It's gonna be hilarious. Guaranteed we're not gonna see this. She's not gonna film this thing. Nope. Because she knows the shame that's gonna come with nobody coming to your wedding because nobody agrees with you. Kyra still thinks the world is confused about what we know, and she's like, well, watch everybody come to my wedding because they know the truth. Right? And she keeps telling the world, you don't know the truth, and when you know the truth, I'm going to be vindicated. And she refuses to release the truth. Okay, fine. But you're not going to be vindicated, Kyra. Because your wedding's going to have 4 people out, because even the people in your life who know the truth, they're not going. Just so you're aware.
I don't know, but yeah, I think that if you are happy doing with what you're doing, I mean, we're not promoting that you sleep with a bunch of people, of course.
You just did!
Do what you want to do, but as long as you feel happy with what you're doing.
Yeah, and of course...
This is the most confusing podcast ever. Don't shame anybody, do what you gotta do, but we're not promoting you do it. Yes, you are.
Safe, like we mentioned. Yeah. Make sure you're being safe. And kind of what her question also asked was kind of like that double standard.
Oh, so many things.
Like, not to get super sexist here, but it is more likely for a guy to be praised almost like, oh, hell yeah, dude, that's your body count, like, go you, versus girls, it's like...
Yeah, I know dudes talk. I mean, maybe toxic, gross dudes, but not in my circle. You never, ever... I don't think so. I don't even think in normal circles like that are outside of like, you know, norms. I don't think guys are like, good, bro, you banged every girl in the world. Tugs, bro, dude, bro. It's not like that. I'm sorry. Not in this, not in the new age. But I mean, this is just these guys just spit stereotypes all day long about everything, and they have no idea what they're talking about, so it's hard to blame them.
Oh, so you're a slut. Where it's like, what's the difference? So it's okay for a guy, but not like, is it that a pride thing?
It's not.
I'm not sure. Is it like
It is so
giving you a
weird.
sense of manliness? I'm not sure, but
And yeah, why?
it's not
It's funny to me.
different.
I
It's the
feel like
exact same thing.
guys in high school, at least the guys I went to high school with, which I went to a shitty high school.
Clearly.
Not really, but yeah.
Oh my God! Yes or no? Was it? Everything she said, she's like, no, I was, yeah, it was. Yeah,
Really, the people were shitty.
well, Kyra, did you find that? Did you see the pattern here, Kyra? Now you think everybody's crappy in your life, right? You think everybody's crappy, but do you see the common denominator here? You see it? Now is everybody crappy in your life now, or did they leave for a reason? The common denominator, Kyra, here is you. You're the crappy person. You just project on everybody else because you can't take blame for yourself because you think you're perfect, which is clearly not true.
Oh God, I feel like I have to say not everybody because somebody's gonna be offended.
See, she's always like, I mean, no judgment here.
But anyways, I feel like the guys I went to school with, like, they would be anything with legs. Like, that expression is so true. Like,
You're gross, Kyra. You're just gross. Because that's your experience. Maybe that's the people you hung around with. Get better people in your life.
unfortunately,
So did you, though, by the way. Clearly. Now you do anyway.
a lot of men have zero standard. At least
like they're
I feel
just
like-
horny.
What are they saying right now?
Yes.
Anyway, they can get off. It's
like,
okay.
It's okay that they don't have a standard. Like, why is that cute? That you will literally have sex with anyone.
Yeah.
Kyra, you literally stole someone else's husband who is a gross, disgusting piece of trash. You will have sex with anybody. You have threesomes. You allow this. You are a cuckold when you allow your fiancé to have sex with other people to get off. That's you. Who are you? Are you out of your mind?
Anything. Like, that's not cute. I don't know who needs to tell you that.
And not that all guys are like that,
yeah.
but like a lot of
Why do they say it like that? Because not most guys are like that. Just like there's maybe a 10% slut ratio to normal girls, there's probably a 10% disgusting piece of trash men to normal men. Like, this is what's wrong with the world. Everybody takes the 10% and like puts pace on everybody else. It's a 10-80-10 principle here. There's 10 of the worst, 80 of the normal, 10 of the best. That's how this works. Okay? But they never ever say anything like that. Like, maybe it's because I grew up in church and stuff like that. And like, but guys are guys. Sure, we're different. We are built different. A lot of generally high drivers. I see it for sure, especially, you know, in the way the world works. But they're just saying like every guy is the worst because your experience with men has been that way. But Canada didn't have that type of experience. You sit here agreeing with it. So get wrecked.
guys are, especially in those times, and when accusations like this are given. And so, I don't know. I feel like that double standard should just be, like, put out the window.
Yes.
Like, get out of here with that.
Yeah.
If you want to sleep
Like,
with
tell
100
like-
people, then sleep with 100 people. You're not a
As long
slut
as it's
or a
not
whore
affecting...
or whatever.
No, you are.
You're none of
You are. Men or women. If you sleep with hundreds of people and you're offended by the moniker slut, then that's... Sorry.
that. You're the same as the
What's
guy.
that stupid term that guys use? Like a...
Forehead.
Not a pimp.
Preston cough in the background.
Pimp.
Did she say pimp?
Less illegal version.
Playa?
Yeah, yes. Okay,
A player.
Imagine, like, if girls were walking around like, oh god, such a slut.
Okay, that's what you are. You literally showed people your drawer of toys, and that doesn't make you an SLUT, okay? But you literally just are all like, you're like, I don't care anymore. Your new era of finding yourself or whatever you call it. You slotted it out, and you were like, are full for it. And you're like, let's go. Everything's changed since this conversation, by the way. Like, you are full for it now. Your literal engagement photos are like you guys like shirtless, pouring stuff down your face, sitting on them with your legs out like this. Like, get real, man. You're gross, Kyra. You're gross.
Like, think of how, like, if there's any guys out there listening, think about how stupid that sounds. That is how stupid men sound.
guys
when they
sound,
say
yes.
that. It's so
And yet here you are with men.
so ridiculous. But
Like,
they
just
think,
stop. It's not a chip on your shoulder. Like,
Imagine Preston sitting here, who's a douche anyway, just listening to this. Just like, nice.
if you're having sex with people,
I get it.
a millions, let's say, that's good for you. Go right ahead. I don't give a shit. But like the way that they brag about it is what I'm like.
Yeah.
All right, that's obnoxious.
Yeah,
you know,
like,
or girls.
don't.
Even when girls do it. Even I've had friends that are like say shit like that, and you're like,
okay. Yeah.
What?
Love you.
yeah, high five.
Yeah,
Here,
that's
do you, I'll buy the Plan B for you.
Yeah.
But still, yeah, don't.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a lot of things in life, there's the double standard. Some of them I do think are a little bit true. Like, not the double standard, but I do think that, like, typically men are, it is more accepted for them to sleep with many people and women are not.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
that's just
It's just how
the
it
way
is.
our world
Yeah.
works right now. And like we said, we want to reiterate, we're not saying it's bad if you sleep with a lot of people. We're not saying it's
good.
bad if you don't. Like, literally,
You do you.
Literally, no, you didn't.
you
Boo.
do you, queens.
Yeah.
So then that means you are saying it's good. Queens. You call them, go queen. So you're saying it's good to sleep with that. You guys have no coherent thoughts whatsoever. Nothing comes together. You're so bad at this. Take a stance. Stop being such a coward.
And just, again, make sure you're being safe. Make sure trying your best to be happy in the decisions that you're making, and whatever that may be, fuck anybody who says that you're wrong.
What do you think now? Do you think Kyra was wrong? Man? No? F her? Yeah?
And you're a queen.
And
unless
the
you
names
sleep
that
with
they
somebody
call
in a
you.
relationship, because then you're a slut.
Okay.
Haha. Thanks, Kyra. Thanks for being there for us.
Yeah. Yes, what you said. Because don't do that. Don't be a homewrecker.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Look at Kyra's face after this.
I think in
Ever.
high school, like, it's hard
I don't just like to cringe.
because it's like in early high school, they're like younger, you know,
Yeah.
but like,
Unless you're high school, right? Let's make sure we keep saying that. Unless it's high school, then it's
Oh,
different.
it's-
Because I did it.
especially adulthood. Like, once you're not in high school anymore,
I mean, even in high school, if you're listening, like,
yes.
please don't do that. But
I don't think Hannah knows about what Kyra did in high school because she's about to be like, even if you're in high school, don't do that. And Kyra's like, I did that.
yes,
Oh, yeah.
and
No, yeah. No, yeah. No, yeah, yeah, no. Yeah, no, yeah.
Either
adult
way,
lives.
yes. But it's,
Like, don't, yeah, yes. Go, yes, and don't. And do it, too. That's what this whole podcast is. Like, yes, don't do it. Yes, don't. Don't. Yes. Don't. And also do it, queen, slay. And then, yes, don't do it.
saying, like, I think homewrecker, like, specifically too when people have families, I just don't even understand
Oh
the type
my
of women
gosh.
or men that takes to be like,
Oh my gosh, Kyra. Listen to yourself.
fuck that.
yeah, because
You did that, Kyra. And she just said, I don't understand what kind of man or woman it takes to do that kind of stuff. Well, now you do, I guess, right? Because you did it. You did it. And I don't think it was going on at this point in the podcast yet, but it came down later. So Kyra just like completely had it in her.
you are affecting so many more people than just that guy.
Yeah.
Like your children.
Or just that girl. Like,
In fact, you're
there's
barely
a
affecting
spouse.
them.
Yeah.
And you're affecting the kids way more than you're
the
affecting.
kid.
The audacity. Now you're saying it? So Kyra, let me get this right. So cheating and messing up your whole relationship is affecting the kids, but you did it and you don't care. Did you not remember that you said that? Like you clearly have a very high opinion of yourself or of this conversation, and you're like very opinionated on this topic, and yet you threw it all to the wind for taint.
It's the spouse,
Adult.
the parents of the spouse, the parents of the
Yep.
guy or girl you're sleeping
Yep.
with, the family of that person, your friends.
Look at
Like,
Kyra.
because everybody usually is intertwined in those situations.
Yeah, and I wonder if Preston's parents are gonna go to this wedding, this elopement. I wonder. Probably will, because then, like, you know, it's still their son, and they got to be like, well, we got, but they don't want to go. Tell you that much. And their gift's gonna be like a toaster.
And when one thing like that is ruined, it's difficult. And I mean, I definitely know of people and stories where that has occurred. Like,
And you're about to find out in a couple of months too after this podcast.
not home wrecking. I mean, I guess technically,
Yep.
Wrecking.
yeah. And
Look at Kyra's here. I'm wrecking. I wonder if Kyra watches these or knows she has said them, because oh my gosh.
but like, it's worked out in the end. And
But that doesn't make it okay. You're still a slut.
no.
Like, Hannah's trying to give everything to Kyra, like, but it worked out. But Kyra's like, no, I don't care if it worked out. Because Kyra says that now. She's like, well, I'm sorry I fell in love with a married man. You can't help it. I'm sorry I did it. Just like, Kyra, like, oh my gosh. Hannah's giving her outs here, and Kyra's not taking them.
Yeah. Oh,
You
God.
are.
Yeah.
You are. It's still not okay. It doesn't matter if it's worked out. Good for you that it's worked out, but like there's a right way to go about it.
Oh my gosh. This is gold, everybody, if you know what's going on, Kyra. This is gold. There's a right way to go about it. And Kyra has admitted, even if she doesn't admit the cheating, that she did it the wrong way. In her own words, she's like, she admits that it's the wrong way.
Like there's your own self morals of being like,
Your own self morals?
you know,
Of being morally?
when you're ready to like, I feel like there's a connection between us, but until you're ready to leave your husband or
Right.
wife.
And that being said,
Kyra, you donut.
the people in relationships that I know that have done that have, I mean, again, there was like cheating involved, but also things were not good in either place.
Yeah.
It sounds like they're talking about what actually eventually happened. Like, she's saying this stuff right now, and it actually ended up happening because Kyra admits that her and Oscar were in a good place, and then Hannah and Preston were in a good place, and she was there comforting Preston, not her best friend, by the way. And so it sounded like they were not in a good place. Hannah's saying the thing out loud that it was about to happen. That's crazy.
And they've talked about that with the other person. And so, like, if there was no good ending, and that just kind of happened in the midst of it. So, again, not saying that it's good, bad, but if you feel like that is something that you need to do and not be with your person and be with somebody else, then, go about that the right way. Don't ruin somebody's life and family just because you feel like that's what
Preston, we're looking at you, butthole.
Don't just think about how you feel, the chemistry and the love and the sexual attraction to.
That's all Kyra talks about. What is she saying right now? That's what she says. She's like, I'm sorry, but I love him and he's the best thing that ever happened to me. She's saying it doesn't matter if that was what it was. Don't do it. And then she went and did it.
Towards each other. Like, there's more to life than that.
for sure.
Oh
So
my
make sure you
gosh.
handle your shit before you start wrecking things. You know?
Yeah.
yeah.
Going good, because I actually know a situation too where things weren't going good, but still, like, I just feel like for your own, because in my opinion, I think we've talked about this before, maybe not, no relationship can start off good if it started off bad.
Somebody take that soundbite. Tyson, rewind that soundbite, slow it down. Let's play it back a bunch of times, okay?
No relationship can start off good if it started off bad.
No relationship can start off good if it started off bad.
Did you hear what she just said? If it started out wrong, you're not having a good relationship. Well,
Even if it wasn't bad on your part, you know, like, let's just say, like, if it were me and Oscar and I were, like, not getting along, we had no connection, we weren't even sleeping together anymore, and just really shit hit the fan, and somebody else was, like, talking to him, or, oh my god, I can't even fucking think about that.
I am clutching pearls. Look, because that's what she did to Preston. What? She's like, she's getting angry thinking about that happening. And then she did that to Preston. And they admitted that on camera in the breakup video, which I have. They deleted it, but I have it. So, like, the absolute and utter hypocrisy of Kyra has never been more gross than it is right now.
It makes me just want to kill him. But, like...
Makes you want to kill Oscar, but it's okay for you to do it. Now Kyra, how do you keep wondering why people hate you? Look what you did here. Look what you're saying. If someone were to do that, Oscar, you'd be like, I'd kill you. But you did it. You did that, and both admitted it on camera. That's not even like, we're not even guessing at that. You said it. Oscar said it.
You know what I mean? Like, that type of situation, there's still a right way to go. Oh, no, sorry.
Is there a right way?
Back up. I was saying.
You got it.
I knew it. You got this. I was saying that, what was I saying, Hannah?
Nobody knows what you're saying.
If Oscar was ever
but, like,
talking to
what was
somebody,
my point?
Can you tell me what my point was? No.
that there has been situations where it like wasn't going good and they went about it.
Kyra lost it. She lost the plot. That thing up top of her nose there, it's protruding, but it holds no brain.
He was right way to go about it, but there was something else.
Oh my gosh. What is Preston here for? Not to edit this thing.
Oh my god, I didn't know that was important. What were you saying right there?
Oh my gosh, Kyra, you're so bad at this. See, this is the problem. Kyra doesn't remember what she says because she can't remember what she's saying at the moment she's saying it. And she just said all these things. She has a high opinion of herself and of these things. If someone ever approached Oscar and we were down and out and they were approaching him, I'd kill him. But she did that.
We were saying that like...
Oh, I just got it.
Say it.
You can't... If it started... Okay, let's say that Oscar cheated on me and got with this woman and then they got together.
Yeah.
She would know in the back of her mind that he cheated on me. I hope she realizes she's not about that.
Yeah,
like he could possibly cheat on her too.
Are you serious, Kyra? Like, she would know he cheated so that she'd be like, well, he cheated on me? I guess her and Preston cheated with each other on their spouses. So they're kind of like two in the same. So, I mean, they're both probably thinking that.
Yeah, like you're cheating with somebody in a relationship and they're willing to cheat on that person. So
why wouldn't they cheat on you?
Why would it? Yeah,
and you can think you're done.
Wow, Kyra. Wow.
I'm in the rough.
That's how you got Oscar, by the way.
But go to therapy. Get out of here.
She's such... I just can't believe that she knows that people know how her and Oscar got together, too, and she just keeps saying things. It's like she forgot.
Mindset, because that's not true.
Sometimes there's diamonds, but not that often.
Well, we're all diamonds, but like, you know...
You're not a diamond. You're nothing. You're like dog poop.
What do you mean? Like,
Yes.
you can't, if somebody's willing to cheat on somebody else, I have a hard time believing they wouldn't do it again.
Kyra, again, up to this point, you know that's how you got Oscar, right? Your best friend was dating him, right? You know that.
Yeah.
Like really cheating. I'm talking about like you actually went and slept with somebody else while you were like married.
So she has to clarify that, right?
To another person.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah. So anyways,
that was my point, I think.
Luckily that's never happened to me, but it does make me angry to think about because I've seen the effect that it takes on people.
You've seen the effect it takes on people, and yet you did it to your family anyway? Kyra, are you sure you want to be on the internet now after this has come out? Are you sure you still want to just continue to say things? Are you sure?
And it's just like... infuriating.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it is hard.
We're feeling dramatic on today's
We are always dramatic. Never not dramatic.
What's dramatic?
Oh, so sorry. Yeah, but nobody's a slut.
Well,
Well, Kyra's. She said we're allowed to say that, so.
you're not a slut for sleeping with too many people. That is not the definition of a slut.
Yeah, it is actually the definition of slut. So Kyra's like, you're not a slut if you slept with hundreds of people. You're only a slut if you've broken up marriages for cheating. That's the only time you're a slut. So Kyra, by your own standards, your own definition.
Yes, moral of this viewer's question is body count.
The moral of this viewer's question. Right? These people have a podcast.
Does it matter? No, it does not matter. You do you, honey boo.
It matters, though, because Kyra says it matters if you're a homewrecker.
Boo boo.
Yeah.
You do you, boo, Queen Slayer.
Open or close. Sign. Get business hours. Set restrictions.
Exactly. Oh my god, put a sign on the door. Open for business. What'd you say?
If you're change your mind later, so don't go tattooing nothing like that.
What is it? If you're a prayer or if you're a what is it? If you're
nobody knows what it is.
Believer. If you're a believer, then come on in. If you're not,
oh my gosh!
My church.
If you're a church,
my temple.
Your temple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you're a
oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, the cringe.
Open to the public?
Yes. If you're open to the public, come on in.
Yes.
If you're just a believer,
what are you saying?
come on in.
If you're just not believers, let them in or something like that.
Whatever that was.
That was a good.
Wow, you guys butchered everything on this podcast. Like, no. Jeez Louise. Preston has between these two to pick, and he ended up with both of them?
This took a bad turn.
I know. Anyways.
Preston was it.
Anyways.
Going downhill.
He said that?
Yeah. Hear what he said? That was effing awful.
That was not awful.
Yeah, it was. That was awful.
Am I story? Or am I saying?
Look, they're kind of flirting right now, and Shanna sees it, right?
What you're gonna say?
Am I saying it's fucking dankety delicious?
Cackle at your joke.
That was awful.
Person's feeling a little judgmental today, okay?
You're a slut.
That's the definition of a slut, folks.
Press If you look it up, it's gonna be a picture of his face.
Why? It's not even funny.
He's just mad he doesn't have a temple to let people in.
Exactly. His temple is closed for business.
Unless it's Kyra. Burn.
Only one viewer allowed ever.
Viewer. You can view it.
Believer. Viewer too, depends on the day. Sometimes it just means viewing.
He's happy with the viewing.
Knowing what we know, this is so gross.
Somebody go
It's not even funny. Like, it's not like there's no hint of humor in this.
take a picture.
They're laughing at each other's jokes, and the jokes aren't funny, and that's not funny.
I'm happy with just
So
the viewing. Like, I'll just look at it. That's all I need. Thank you. Goodbye.
It's beautiful just to watch.
Just goodbye. Yep.
Okay.
That's all we need.
Okay, so that was the question, but we're doing things at Loda today. So I gotta stop with the fucking face.
Yeah, you do.
You're fucking
I decided earlier in this podcast I actually want a new me.
impressions.
Are you gonna discover yourself in this podcast?
Done with this angle. I'm also gonna be switching with Hannah soon because I can't stand the way I look right here.
How about you
What?
just sit in the middle and I'll sit like on the floor.
Kirana show.
Kirana show. That's nice. Good one. That's not funny. Stop laughing.
No, it really. Okay. Let's talk about a personal experience with sleeping with multiple people. Let's talk
Yeah,
on this really quickly because we've done
because you haven't.
this a million and one times.
I've never.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was quick enough.
There you go. Exactly.
3 people, 2 in relationships, 1, I guess, like a one-night stand.
So 4.
In high school? Ooh. Hey, man, it's just like
Including Oscar?
high school.
No, 3 including us.
3 including
Yes.
Oscar. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's, I guess, my experience. I'm trying to think of, like, what else I want to say
There's nothing else you can say.
about that. I wouldn't, well, I guess I kind of already said it earlier in the episode. Kind of offended me, kind of did it, don't regret it. All right. Opinions, we said that. And the question, stigma, fuck them kids. All right? That's the stigma.
What?
Viewer, sorry.
What? What is she saying? I just like words.
You got this. Hit it.
It's not. There's no jokes have been said. We don't know what you're saying. Nobody, even if it was funny, maybe even Press Tank would be laughing. There's nothing funny about this. It's literally the worst podcast I've ever heard in my life.
Funny when Hannah gets confused, she just like looks at me like, I need to go.
Yeah, because no one knows what you're saying.
Yeah.
Hannah dodged the ball in here.
Boo.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Like, I love you.
Hey, we made it 2 seasons in. I don't know how we wouldn't have, but you know.
I know.
Just in
We're
case
almost
a
done
drink spilled.
With this one, only 1 drink spilled.
Did it?
Yeah, you're
Just
proud
did
of
no
me?
drink spilled.
Oh.
Did one.
Okay, how can there be so much more left of this podcast?
Gotcha. I'm not going. You do it.
No. Because when I do it now, because I'm trying, it's just gonna fucking sound like Barbie or something, I guarantee it.
Ooh, you want to sound like Barbie? Maybe to chat.
This is the worst.
Situation.
Little Pig and Barbie made a baby.
Oh my gosh.
What would Little Pig look like? Like, what do you imagine? I imagine a
For
fat
those of you
pig.
confused, Lil Pig is Kira's made-up rapper name.
They did
She
that.
came up with herself. Nobody else did that for her.
I don't even know how it came about. Do you remember?
Nope.
Nope, we were selling baby blankets and I was like, get Little Pig.
Wow.
I did not read it.
Okay, they're still just cackling at no jokes. The whole thing is just cackling at no jokes.
Like,
She says, I was cutting the jalapenos and we were feeling spicy, so I asked my boyfriend to cut the habanero.
Oh no.
The
I
food
don't
turned
think
out
this is
awesome
gonna go
and
good.
everybody enjoyed it. About an hour later, my boyfriend and I retreated to my bedroom.
And fingy and spicy and yucky.
Things got
How do people watch this stuff?
steamy and he was getting into it with some finger foreplay.
Knew it.
A minute later, and my vagina was on fire. He had washed his hands multiple times immediately, got into the shower, and had to follow it up. And...
Can't even read.
Oh, I skipped a line.
I am
Oopsie.
sweating from that jalapeno right now.
I know, I got nervous, so I, like, skipped to the end.
What the fuck's gonna happen?
He had washed his hands multiple times after cooking dinner, but it wasn't enough. He got habanero spice all over my lady parts. I immediately got in the shower and had to follow it up with a cold cloth and ice packs.
And some
I was
blueberry
in
packs.
so much pain for over an hour. We laughed about it the whole time and now, but it was 100%
Can you read?
not
okay?
funny in the moment. Ow. I'm traumatized by it. I couldn't even read it.
I don't even know what I would do. Like, I think her method is what I would try as well. Like, get in the shower, maybe like a cold
Oh my god,
cloth.
could you even
You
imagine
don't shower, Kyra.
that pain? Like, it hurts in
The
my
only time you have showers, be like, okay, here's I get my wife to have a shower.
mouth where I'm supposed to eat it. Let alone
cutting it in my eyeballs.
my
Like, stop touching
vagina? No. Oh, wow. Glad you guys can laugh about it now.
I know. I feel like it does make for a funny story later.
Oh,
and I had
nails, your
acrylics.
hands.
So
Out, you can bring him some flautas. Like, along with possibly another.
Yeah.
Because this is a good... It's a good one. Just let us know.
So
What is
if
Kyra?
you guys like this one, please let us know. This is responding to our comments regarding the previous episode. So this is episode 8 that you guys are listening to, and the comments that we're going to be bringing this from are episode
7?
6.
What?
We are pre-filming because we'll be out of town next week, so we don't have episode 7's comments because that one didn't launch yet. That'll launch tomorrow. I hope we're not making it confusing, but basically
It's confusing.
this is from a few episodes ago, but normally going forward, it would be comments from our most recent
episodes, yeah. So if you
Got
want to be
it.
part
Next.
of that and let us know your comments, things you've tried,
Yeah.
things that
questions
have worked, questions
Who would ask you questions? You have no answers.
regarding the last time.
Who would ask these girls questions? Can't even read. Spell? They not funny? Who's asking you a question? And what expertise are you basing the answers off of?
Yes, then let us know at listeners
At
btsnofficial.com.
Yeah, this one would be
Instagram,
really
all
great
of the places
on YouTube and Instagram, I think. Easier to... The
Okay.
hormone production is optimal for high... libido? Libido. That's what
Libido?
I said. Until mid-30s. It's good news. This person let us know that you don't actually hit your peak sexual interest until mid-30s. Which is interesting because I feel like I always thought it was like your early 20s.
Yeah,
Dummy.
which kind of like, I mean, not to say excited, but kind of like, wow, my sex life is already this great. Like,
Yes.
when I'm in my
Wait a couple of months.
30s, hell yeah. If it hasn't even reached the peak yet.
I know. I think I
Sign
actually
me up.
do remember hearing a little bit about this because I know that men,
They're lying.
like their peak is now, I think, and then it will slowly after 25, I believe, go down.
Decrease.
Not
Again, who's asking them any questions about anything? They have no idea what they're talking about. These people didn't even finish high school. Why would you ask them questions about anything? They don't know anything. They grew up on YouTube.
like by a lot, but it will
a
like
little
hit
bit.
it.
Okay.
It gives you a little bit of balance, a little bit more pleasure than
Yes.
the awkward, uncomfortable, a little bit of pain, not gonna lie, I'm sure. Like what's the word I'm trying to find? Like the feelings that you're used to.
Familiar things.
Yes, that's the word.
Familiar. The familiar things. Like both.
Like the feelings that you're familiar with, there, when the unfamiliar is also happening, so it kind of gives you a little bit of balance, a
I don't know
little
what they're talking about.
bit more pleasure than
Yes.
the awkward, uncomfortable, a little bit of pain, not gonna lie, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
I think that
It's a good idea.
I think it would just be good because it's distract.
Imagine, like, Hannah doesn't want this on the internet. That's too late. That's just what you get. But when Hannah starts her life over again and has kids eventually and stuff, like, she's not going to be able to escape this. That sucks.
And like you said, if you use a vibrator, you're comfortable with that, and it can also just excite you more to make that more like.
I don't want to hear
It's
A
better.
little bit more than that. It's gonna understand and relate and all those things. So
Gives you a safe place to hear about it. We actually got a comment on my Instagram today that I was telling Hannah about that was really cool to read. I wish I remembered her name, darn it. I would try to find it, but it's definitely buried now. But it was something like, I love listening to your podcast. I just used to listen for entertainment, but unexpectedly it basically became informational for her. And
This is the information you're gathering? Do not get information from these two people. Please, for the love of humanity, do not get your information from them.
she's really enjoyed and learned things from it, and it's became.
What have you learned?
She said she worded it like I didn't realize I needed it.
Yeah.
Already. But anyways, we hope you guys enjoyed it.
Anyways.
Wednesday. Bye.
Wow, bye.
What a day.
What a day. What a day. Monday. Wednesdays. Wednesdays.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, I knew it was going to be full of hypocrisy. That's why we covered that one. There's another one beneath the sheets too that's coming up in Snarkmas. I'm going to keep doing it because there's so much hypocrisy. What I want to do is compile all the cackles that has ever happened. Could you imagine how long the cackling video would be? Oh, you get so pissed if you saw that. But anyway, that was terrible. And also, Kyra just really let it all slip what she really believes, but then became the person that she hated. That's got to mean something too. You became the person you hate the most. And this was likely happening before all the cheating and stuff like that was going on. So, sucks to be you, moron. Anyway, everybody, take a deep Snarkmas breath. I'm going to try my best to get to videos every day this month, but I am traveling a little bit. So if I miss a day or two here, I'm really sorry. I'll try to get stuff I might repost from last Snarkmas if I can't. But I'm going to try my best. And I might have a surprise guest in one of my upcoming shows. Might be talking about the 8-passenger stuff. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But you guys are amazing, incredible, valuable. I hope all your Christmas wishes are coming true. And all the elves and stuff are hiding pretty well, and everything is going on, and baking is going. Don't forget, Christmas calories don't count. Christmas is coming soon, and I'm very excited. And I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you when I see you.
It's that time of year. DCP's here to snark and to jeer for these buttholes to hear. Don't forget to book your pap smear. Snarkmas 2023.
Ho, ho, ho! Nana, you son of a bitch!